I saw the sea, I rested, I let melancholia swallow my brain. But here I'm back. Long time no art, long time no videos. But it's good to rest sometimes. And this is a video on how not to feel miserable when you are not creating. Of course, I'm speaking here from like a hobbyist artist perspective. It's not my job to create. However, I do feel like I do need to create. I feel this need, this push on myself to do those things just because I've always been doing them. So it's not something alien to me. I've done some videos already with some art advice about how to find inspiration, how to easier create. Some of those tips do include taking a rest. And for me personally, for some reason, summer is always the time when I just need to take a break, and that's fine. But whenever I take time off drawing in particular, since this is what I usually do as my creative outlet, I never really take the time off of art. I believe you can find art everywhere, and in this day and age when people just want to have everything more comfortable, quicker, they don't really think about those things. They don't really think about art. They don't care for art. A lot of people just completely refuse to even give it a go. It's not really their thing to focus on art in life in general. And personally, I believe this just leads to being very miserable. So when I try to find art everywhere outside my creative field, so drawing in my case, I always feel better about myself and also my craft when I do come back to it. So when you treat everything as art, you don't really feel like you are taking a break because everything that you do is art, or you can find and see art everywhere. A lot of people say they love traveling, and what it looks like for them, they are just speed running all of the places that are very popular and that are on some kind of top of list, but they don't really take the time to comprehend the whole place, and they don't really focus on that art. Even if they go to a museum or some kind of place very, very far away that they are seeing for the first time, they are just speed running it. There's no art in that. They don't really contemplate on what are they seeing. They don't find the art and beauty anywhere they go. Or they just want to say, okay, I was there. Like, that's cool, I guess. But not everyone is artist, but here I'm speaking for all of the people that do find art to be a very important part of their lives. So when I'm not creating, I like to focus on the external art, the art of other people, what they were creating, what they are still creating, how it can inspire me for my future creations. And the art can be found in many different things. It does not really have to be at the very grand top place, and you can just enjoy the moment. You can just be with yourself, collected, think about everything that surrounds you. This is what the Impressionists were doing. They could see the art everywhere. Like the light was art to them, the changing sun was art to them. They could spot every little detail and then convert that as their own style. That's why we have the Impressionism, thanks to them, thanks to their observations. But if we do not slow down and take a look into the outside world, it might be hard to find the art. If you are constantly in a rush, it's very hard to focus on art. That's why I think the first step to finding art everywhere is just to slow down. And I know it's quite hard, especially I would say for people with anxiety or people that are not really in tune with themselves. I used to be like that too. It was very hard for me to feel at peace somewhere alone. I mean, it's not easy even now, but it has become easier. And when you don't rush, you can observe a lot of things. You can focus on a lot of things. And then you can do all of those things more intentionally. So when I saw the sea this year, it wasn't just the sea. It was all of the reflections on the water. It was the sound of waves. It was how the sun reflected on those waves. It was how the waves come back, then go back. It was how the wind would blow our hair when we tried to take the photos. It was catching the sunsets every day that we could. It was seeing how the sun looks different every day in exactly the same place, in exactly the same spot. Every day the sun was different, the sky was different, the whole vibe of the place was different, even though that was the same place. When I saw the ancient city of Ephesus, everyone was just focusing on those like grand temples, grand libraries, and like that's amazing, that's great. But what I liked about the place was the stone shattered everywhere, how it's almost identical to what it was like those thousands of years ago, but still they look thousands years old. They are shattered, they are displaced. Every column that is in that place has a story to it that we don't really know about, and that's interesting to me. But when you go on such a trip, everyone around you is just running around. They want to have the quick history of the place, the quick history of the ruin, the quick history of whatever that is, and move on. Okay, you have maybe 5 minutes to take some photos and you go about that. But it's always the time. You need to do it quicker, you need to go here quicker, take the photo quicker. It's very frustrating. And it's hard to focus on anything when you don't have the time to contemplate, to think about the place where you are in, to think about the things that you are doing. And I was talking with my friend some time ago about a similar topic. She said that she does not feel like an artist since she's taken a lot of time off from art. And yeah, this is, I guess, my solution to the problem. People are just thinking too much about themselves. It's like that meme. But if you cannot find the inspiration within, then you just need to search it somewhere else. And it's not a bad thing to go out and to find art anywhere. My biggest advice would be just to slow down and specifically focus on the things that you are doing and do them diligently, do them with care, do them as if it was the most important part of your day. Even if it's something simple like cooking or cleaning, do them well, or try to do them well. I mean, I'm not the best cook, but I try my best when I do my meals. Just not to fall into this whole of being miserable, that you are not particularly inspired to do things. I don't know if this video was helpful at all. This is just my perception of things. I also just need to go back to maybe filming, maybe, creating. I feel like autumn is a good time for a new start. We are like programmed to think that the new school year is supposed to be the start. So even though I'm not at school anymore, it does feel like it, or maybe it is the Virgo season that just kicks in September. Yeah, but also when I started this channel, my laptop broke down like exactly around August. I think that was like 2 years ago. And yeah, here we are. This year my laptop did broke down, so that explains a little bit why my art was not arting, other than I was just busy with life, I guess. Okay, I think this is the end of my stream of consciousness video. Again, if I feel like talking sometime, I guess I will just come back here to put in my 5 cents. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to share with you. If you have any observations on this topic, feel free to leave them in the comments. I would love to hear your perspective, how you are dealing with like those periods of time when you are not creating at all. Do you feel bad about it? Do you have some kind of solution to the problem? Are you just vibing and that's fine for you? Let me know, and see you in my next video, whenever that will be. Take care and bye bye.